Straight down the ground and coming right at you from Radio Azad. This is the Sports Spotlight. Every Sunday morning between 10 and 12. Sorry, folks, I gotta feel like I've got a frog in my throat. Bringing to you the Sports Spotlight every Sunday right here on Radio Azad. I'm your host, Rizwan, and we are gonna get things cooking right off the bat. And cooking is what the Rams have going on over at the Wembley. I believe it's at the Wembley over in London for sure, playing the Jaguars and playing with the Jaguars. Those Rams are making a meal out of those Jaguars at the half, just kicking off the second half there, third quarter, and the Rams are up 21-0 on those Jaguars. And man, oh man, Matthew Stafford came to play. 15 of 20 in the first half. 15 of 20 with 3 touchdowns passing. 2 of those to the man, Devontae Adams. You knew with Puka Nacua out, it was going to be Devontae Adams time, and that is where we are. 6 targets, 4 receptions, 34 yards, 2 touchdowns. So it's been a lot of tight end, and then you get into the red zone, and it's Matthew Stafford to Devontae Adams, and especially that second touchdown catch that Devontae Adams made. Man, oh man, the defender draped all over him. He makes the catch anyway, gets his feet down barely, but does so and scores the touchdown to put the Rams up 21-0 right before the half, and nothing doing for those Jacksonville Jaguars. Much to my chagrin, because I actually in a situation where on one of my fantasy football teams where I had Kyler Murray and I had to replace him, I went with. It's funny, on two of my leagues I have Josh Allen, and he was on a bye, so I picked up Flacco and started him. And Thursday night, what Flacco did on Thursday night. We'll get to it when we get to the NFL segment. But in this one, for whatever reason, last week when Kyler Murray was hurt, I picked up Trevor Lawrence and I left him in there. And man, oh man, he has done nothing. 10 for 19, 105 yards, and only rushed once for 4 yards, and that's all he's gotten. No points on the board. Let's see if things change in the second half here. All right, that's enough of the NFL, because we will get to it, but that segment usually is later in the afternoon. Morning, yeah, before afternoon. But later in the show is when we get to that. Right now, the spotlight is shining brightly on the cricket oval, and there is a lot that's happening. A lot that's happening in the world of cricket. A lot of stuff that pertains to, that would interest the majority of our listeners, who are from of the South Asian persuasion. So let's do this rain shortened, and don't get me started on the rain, man. Let's shine the light first on this series between two powerhouses, India and Australia, that started yesterday. In Perth, India is touring Australia, and I think we had touched on it last time. It's going to be 3 ODIs followed by 5 T20Is. So big series. Now it does not play into our the World Test Championships, obviously, because it's just ODIs and T20Is. But big name teams, powerhouses at the top of the rankings of pretty much all formats. So it's one to keep an eye on. And India and Australia kicked things off yesterday in a match that once again, was marred by rain delays. It looked like, the rain was early on when it started. It looked like it was just going to be really, really bad and probably never, not even never even get to completion. But complete they did based off the DLS method. Australia ended up winning this one easily after India scored 136 at a loss of nine, 136 in 26 overs. I don't know if this was bad batting or good bowling, a little bit of both, but 136 for nine after 26 made the Australian target fairly achievable. But of course, there were more rain delays, and eventually, based upon the fewer number of wickets that they lost, I think they had 26 overs to score 131. Um, they ended up catching that at a loss of only three. They scored that 131 um, with 29 deliveries remaining. In the 22nd over, Marsh secured that seven wicket win easily. But I mean, Stark and Hazelwood really, really set things up there. As I've said, can you really put the credit or the blame on one side? Was it bad batting? Was it good bowling? It was a combination of both, but it could have been so much worse for Team India. Rohit Sharma was had fairly early on. He was the first wicket to fall in the fourth over. At which point, in the fourth over, on the fourth delivery of the fourth over, when India only had 13 on the board when the first wicket fell, and then on the first ball of the seventh over, Virat Kohli, the second wicket fell, at which point India was left at 21 with a loss of two. Shubman Gill, the captain, who was the other opener, Kohli was the one down. He ended up having a duck, 8 delivery stays, scoring nothing until he was caught by Conley on a delivery by Stark. And then the captain himself, Shubman Gill, having seen his partner Rohit and the one down superstar, all time great Virat Kohli fall for a duck, Shubman Gill didn't do much better, falling on the first delivery of the ninth over, scoring 10 off of 18, at which point India was left at 25 for a loss of three. The hits kept on coming. Shreyas Iyer on the second delivery of the 14th over fell, leaving India at 45 for four. And then there was a little bit of a reprieve, a little bit of stability, if you will. Akshar Patel came in, as did KL Rahul, and they each scored above 30, 31 off of 38 deliveries for Akshar Patel, and KL Rahul flipped that, scoring 38 off of 31 deliveries with 2 4s and 2 6s, strike rate of 122. But he was gone shortly thereafter. Washington Sundar scored 10 off 10, bowled out by Kuhneman. Nitish Kumar Reddy scored 19 off of 11, but he ended up being not out because everybody else around him fell fairly quickly. Harshit Rana, 1 off of 2. Harshdeep Singh didn't even face the delivery, got run out. And then Mohammad Siraj was the other not out before they got to the rain shortened end, being the 26th over. And that was that. India scored 136, and due to the DLS method, the target ended up being 131 from 26 overs, and Australia, behind Mitchell Marsh, the captain, who opened and scored 46 off of 52 with 2 4s and 3 6s, and Josh Phillip, who ended up scoring 37 off of 29. coming in at 2 down. Travis Head, the other opener, did not do much. 8 off of 5. Matthew Short, 8 off of 17. But Joseph Phillip, 37 off of 29, 3 4s, 2 6s, 127.58 strike rate, and carrying them easily to this victory. Now, what does that mean in the grand scheme of things? I'm not sure if it does. I'm not sure if it means much at all because India is a proven top tier team, and the rain delays and all that stuff can do crazy things to your to the flow of any match, right? So I don't know if we can really read much into it. Um, Look, historically, Australia for the past decade and a half, 10, 15, 16 years, Australia has had India's number, but India has come back um, uh, more recently and won some big games. So, is this going to continue? Is this going to continue one-sided, or is it going to become more balanced? If I had to make a bet, I would say it's gonna. I would lean toward the more balanced. Um, at least that's how I see it. So they've got more matches coming up. The next ODI is this Wednesday. Then they have the third on Friday, the 24th. After which, the following Wednesday, the first of 5 T20Is begin, and then they're going to have it Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, and then a little bit of a break as they move over to the Gold Coast and Brisbane area, where they'll play Thursday and Saturday, the 8th of November being the fifth match. So a long series, just the first match that's done, and we will see how that shakes out. All right. Before we move forward, let's talk about maybe here we go. Let's talk about October 26th, friends and neighbors, because that is not too far away. Sherry Raza, live on stage at the beautiful UTD Auditorium, singing the greatest of all-time Qawwali and Sufi hits with live musicians, is happening October 26th at 7 p.m. at the UTD, 800 West Campbell Road, Richardson. For tickets, please contact Omer Khan at 972-322-7553. Also, you might have missed a couple of big things, especially for foodies. The Halal Fest, as well as the South Asian Food Festival, was happening yesterday. But hey, the Plano International Food Festival is what I was talking about. So if you missed that, next Sunday, October 26th, biryani, Bollywood, and lots of musti at the 5th annual DFW South Asian Food Festival and Diwali celebration, brought to you by Bindas Services, Marmadas, in association with Top Shots Events and Honest Living, is happening right here, right around the corner, about 10 minutes, less than 10 minutes away, I think, at the at the beautiful Sound Amphitheater on the grounds of Cypress Waters. It's going to be taking place on the 26th, Sunday, and lots of stuff are being brought to you on that day. Myself, as well as Gautam, one of our afternoon RJs, are going to be hosting the event. So come on down, get some food, get some music, get some musti, everything and anything about the Diwali celebration. You want to be there on the 26th at the Sound in Irving. All right, enough about that. Let's get back to the world of cricket, shall we? So, what else is happening? Well, let's talk a little bit about the ICC Women's World Cup. We're going to be hit by a break in about 6 minutes, so if we're not able to wrap it up, we'll pick it up after the break and finish it. Now, what's happening over there? Obviously, it's been going on for a while. The World Cup is a long affair. We're on match number 18, or hold on, what's going on? Match number 20 is going on today. It started on the 30th of September with the first match, and here we are on match number 20 happening right now between the English women and the Indian women. The English women put up 288 at a loss of 8 from their side, and India is uh, making a good run with their chase, where they are now sitting at, after 31 overs, with 19 overs remaining, they are at 170 for a loss of 3, meaning they need 119 from the last 19 overs to win this match. So that's as I said, it's going to continue the matches. There are, I believe, 8 more matches left here before we get to the semis and the finals. The final will take place on the 2nd of November 2025. And let's see who that ends up being. Who is likely to end up being there? Well, the Australian women are leading the table right now. They've played 5 matches, they've won 4, and have had a no result for a total of 9 points. South African women have played 5 matches, they've won 4 and lost 1, so they're 1 point behind at 8. The English ladies have only played 4 matches. They are 3-0 with a no result. So 7 points. If they win this, that will put them at 9 and vault them into first place due to the slight advantage on the net run rate. The Indian women are right behind them in the 4th place. They've played 4 matches. They've won 2 and lost 2, sitting at 4 points, sitting ahead of the New Zealand ladies, who have played 5 matches and are 1-2, but with 2 no results, giving them 4 points, being tied with India, but due to the negative net run rate, they sit in 5th place behind them. And then come the bottom 3, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, and Pakistan, all having played 5 matches. Bangladesh has 1 win and 4 losses, giving them 2 points. Sri Lanka in 7th place, 0-3, but 2 no results, net run rate of negative 1.564. And Pakistan bringing up the rear in last place, 0-3 with 2 no results, sitting at 1.887, negative 1.887 net run rate, sitting in the 8th place. So ever important match going on right now between the English ladies and the Indian ladies. And here we go, last delivery of the 32nd over coming up. India at 176 for a loss of 3. So now they need 113 runs from 18.1 overs. Pakistan has really, I would say, gotten pretty lucky with their 2 no results. The second of those being yesterday against New Zealand, when Pakistan had scored 92 with a loss of 5. And the rains came and it ended up washing it out, and Pakistan gets 1 point when they probably would not have gotten a point had the match been played. The other one was against the English women, again leading leading the pack, sitting at the top of the table. It was also marred by rain delays, but English ladies had 133 for a loss of 9 after 31. Pakistan had a target of 113 from 31 overs. So they got advantage against New Zealand where they probably would have lost, but got 1 point. But man, oh man, I feel like the Rains took away a marquee victory here where Pakistan was sitting after 6 overs, 6 of those 31 overs. They were sitting at 34 for a loss of none with a target of only 113 and 25 overs still, 24 and a half still remaining. I felt that that would have been an easy victory and a marquee victory over a team like England, who is leading the points table right now. So the Rains give and the Rains taketh away. That's where we are. All right, folks, we are at a point where we need to take our first break. You are listening to the Sports Spotlight with Rizwan. We will be back after a few words from our sponsors. Be right back.
आप सुन रहे हैं रेडियो आजाद हम सफर हमजाद रेडियो आजाद